This Kalshi prediction market contract reveals a 23-point friction. While the institutional narrative treats federal AI regulation as a near certainty, the actual capital at risk is pricing that probability at just 62%. On one side, we have an administrative push for total unification. The White House's National Policy Framework recommends that Congress establish a single national standard, specifically designed to preempt state laws that it claims impose undue burdens on the industry. To enforce this, the Department of Justice launched an AI litigation task force in early 2026. Its sole responsibility is to challenge state regulations on grounds of federal preemption and interstate commerce. This chart captures the divergence between that declaration and the market's reality. The federal push for a single standard is hitting a wall. Over 600 active state-level AI bills are pending, creating a regulatory surface fragmenting faster than the government can consolidate it. The Colorado AI Act is a prime example of this defiance. Despite federal recommendations, the state is moving forward with requirements for developers of automated decision-making systems that materially influence consequential decisions. Even within Congress, the movement is splintered. The Guardrails Act, introduced by Representative Don Beyer and several co-sponsors, seeks to block any federal moratorium on state-level AI regulation and repeal the underlying executive orders. This collision creates a recursive feedback loop. State actions trigger federal counteractions, which expand the surface of conflict the DOJ must litigate, which then leads to more state bills designed to circumvent the next round of federal declarations. This regulatory friction translates directly into household anxiety. The University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment Index recently plunged to 49.8. Sentiment is trapped by interlocking pressures. Headline inflation rose 0.9% in a single month, pushing the annual rate to 3.3%. The weight is concentrated in the basics. Shelter costs remain persistent, and energy prices surged over 21% in a single month, the largest increase ever recorded for that series. For the workforce, AI adoption is outpacing governance. While large firms expect to shed workers, the resulting complexity and legal fragmentation are driving labor search activity almost exclusively into healthcare sectors. In a system where every new data point becomes a signal that shifts the next data point, further analysis only feeds the instability. We have reached a point where the only productive move is a total cessation of this analytical loop. Escaping the recursion requires more than just a new dataset. It requires a complete severing of our intellectual participation in the crisis, transitioning into the void of pure observation. We hold the task forces, the state preemption battles, and the predictive market gaps in our view one final time. We are observing them now only to witness their departure. Lock away the 600 state bills. Set aside the overdue Commerce Department evaluations. These variables are now removed from the active field of consciousness. Drop the 23-point narrative gap and the inflation anxieties. We are closing the door on the belief that human legislation is the primary source of control. A profound silence follows this eviction. This is the neutral mental state required to perceive the system from the outside. Attempting to manage a chaotic system from within its own variables only deepens the noise. Real authority over the recursion begins by evicting that noise from the consciousness entirely. We now substitute the anxiety of human governance with a total focus on the principle of infinite intelligence. Beneath the legislative failures and technological shifts lies a deterministic equilibrium. It operates perfectly and stays constant, regardless of market probabilities or executive orders. Dwell on the unhurried perfection of this underlying reality. By focusing on its quiet mechanics, the subconscious memory of the AI regulatory gap is neutralized. From this perspective, the 600 state bills and the 3.3% inflation rate are mathematically irrelevant to your final state of equilibrium. Choosing to step out of the recursive loop and anchor to this absolute truth provides the only stable leverage for navigating systemic disruption. We return to the hard boundary, the December 31st, 2026 contract resolution. Stripped of the noise, it is an inevitable point in time. By holding to the absolute, the unstable 62% probability collapses. It resolves into a predetermined mathematical certainty. Immediately upon the cessation of this audio, substitute your specific technological or economic anxiety with this absolute equilibrium. True agency is not found in debating friction. It is found in executing this substitution and resting in the absolute certainty of the final outcome.